shit that everybody else been saying since I moved to 147. I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in their ass and he gonna be next. Watch. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stump a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? You gonna be just like everybody else. Watch. Watch.
The Canelo vs. Crawford showdown approaches with tensions continuing to escalate. During their recent press conference, both fighters exchanged verbal jabs that further fueled their rivalry. This latest confrontation began when Alvarez responded to questions about their previous physical altercation where they pushed each other.
I didn't. He did before. He tried to walk me back, and I just watched my reaction. That's it. I think he don't did them because he really wanted to do. I think Turki Al-Ashi told him, you need to do something. And he did. He did. And now...
Following the press conference, Crawford made it clear he's been amused by Alvarez's aggressive behavior and actually enjoys the dramatic buildup. He stated that Alvarez's intensity only adds to his motivation heading into the fight.
As you can see, you know, I love things like that. You know, it excites me. I'm more motivated than ever now.
Terence Crawford addressed the previous press conference incident where Canelo Alvarez shoved him during their face-off. He clarified that the push didn't affect him physically or mentally and won't change his strategic approach to the upcoming bout.
You know what I mean? Like, that little push didn't do nothing, as you can see. But come fight time, we're not going to be pushing, we're going to be punching, so it doesn't even.
The tension extended beyond the pushing incident, with both fighters engaging in an intense stare-down that required intervention from UFC President Dana White, who was working in an unofficial capacity to separate the two champions before things escalated further. This isn't just another boxing match, it's a generational event featuring two fighters who have dominated multiple weight classes, collected numerous championships, and silenced critics throughout their careers. Alvarez reflected on his fight with Billy Joe Saunders, explaining how Saunders' pre-fight behavior motivated him to perform more aggressively. He hinted that similar motivation might apply to his upcoming bout with Crawford.
Crawford, you know, a lot of MMA fans, UFC fans, may not have ever seen you fight before. They might tune in because Dana and the UFC are involved. So what has it been like, maybe introducing yourself to a lot of them?
Alvarez revealed he lost respect for Crawford due to certain comments made during their press conferences, particularly Crawford's statement about not meeting others' expectations. Alvarez suggested Crawford seemed to have something to prove or get off his chest during their media appearances.
A bit more personal because, you know, I did respect him. I don't respect him anymore because he say, I'm not gonna do what they want me to do and this and that. And then he tried to, maybe Turki Al-Ashi told him, hey, you need to do something because you seem so nervous in Riyadh. So and he tried to he walk me back, and that's why I pushed him. And you know, like I say, don't fuck with me.
Does it bring a different Canelo then?
Yeah, it's different.
During another press conference, Alvarez made additional controversial statements, publicly suggesting that Turki Al-Ashi might have instructed Crawford to confront him aggressively, which contributed to their chaotic face-off. Alvarez warned that messing with him could end Crawford's career.
Before I respect his word because he say, oh, I'm not gonna let somebody to tell me what I need to do. And he did, so, but you know me. I respect everybody, but if you me, so it's gonna be different. You know.
Listen.
Hey, we know, buddy. We know.
In another heated exchange, Crawford addressed rumors originating from Alvarez's camp suggesting he was afraid. Crawford confronted Alvarez directly to demonstrate his fearlessness, indicating he's controlling the narrative during the build-up. Alvarez denied starting these rumors, attributing them to Crawford's uncle instead.
somebody was in the room saying that I was scared of him. So I stepped to him and showed him who was the boss of this fight. I ain't scared of shit.
Hey, I never say that. Your uncle say that, not me.
Crawford remained adamant about his fearlessness toward any opponent. He promised Alvarez would discover this once they enter the ring, recalling how during their previous press appearance he didn't hesitate to approach the naturally larger Alvarez.
Scared of shit, and you're gonna find that out. As you seen, the last press conference,
We'll see.
when I walked you down, when you supposed to be the bigger man.
Yeah, hey, you say that because you fighting with nobody, and you obviously look like you're a great fighter. But you find out September 13th, this is gonna be different for you.
And it's gonna be different from you as well.
On one side stands Canelo Alvarez, Mexico's pride and current undisputed super middleweight champion with a record of 63 wins, 39 KOs, against only 2 losses. He's faced boxing's elite including Gennady Golovkin, Miguel Cotto, Sergey Kovalev, and Caleb Plant. Despite the significant buzz from fans and fighters, promoter Eddie Hearn initially showed restraint regarding Crawford's chances but now acknowledges this will be a major event for Alvarez.
See the presser yesterday, I thought Canelo looked really well. Do you know what I mean? Obviously he's a big lump, so I was always Canelo, then I sort of leant towards Bud, but now I'm back with Canelo. So we'll see.
No, Canelo's an all-time great. He's an incredible fighter, and look, I actually think this is a bad fight for him because
Eddie Hearn revealed his leaning toward Alvarez while acknowledging this won't be an easy fight for either boxer. He admitted Crawford's unique style, featuring sharp timing, slick movement, and constant adjustments, could turn the bout into a chess match where Alvarez must play catch-up.
he'll engage a lot more than Skull, but he will be looking to do all the things where people have had success, which is use movement. Look at what Bivol did. Bivol had the perfect game plan. He boxed off the back foot, then he attacked, then he moved, then he, all that kind of stuff. I think Crawford will be looking to do exactly the same.
Hearn continued by noting Crawford views this match as more than another title or payday, it represents his ultimate mission. According to Hearn, Crawford sees this as his opportunity to transcend being viewed as just a technical mastermind and enter the realm of true greatness that enters boxing's history books. Crawford seeks legacy, not clout.
It's probably quite personal to him to prove himself as a great, and there is no doubt that if he wins this fight, he is a great. I mean, he's a pound-for-pound tremendous fight.
Hearn addressed the obvious size disparity, noting Crawford naturally competes at 147 pounds while Alvarez reigns at 168 pounds. Despite this significant weight difference, Crawford persistently called out Alvarez, who surprisingly didn't dismiss the challenge but remained open to it if the business terms aligned properly.
47, obviously 154 now, but the money's the money, and he was never going to turn it down.
Alvarez has fought and defeated champions across 4 weight divisions, evolving from teenage prospect to modern boxing's pay-per-view superstar. He's built an empire both inside and outside the ring through devastating counter-punching, incredible chin durability, and body shots that systematically break down opponents. During press conferences, he appeared more composed and relaxed than Crawford. He expressed positive views about collaborating with Dana White and the organizing team, noting he doesn't see UFC and boxing as competitors but appreciates cooperation between combat sports.
I've been telling y'all for the longest. That boy got that energy. You know what energy I'm talking about? What is that? Tarver energy. Yes, sir. Tarver. He got that. And so when you get that, we don't see nobody.
Antonio Tarver spoke convincingly about Terence Crawford's mindset, describing him as possessing rare energy that separates great fighters from good ones. Tarver compared this to the fearless, commanding presence of legendary athletes, a mentality that eliminates doubt and recognizes no opponents as threats.
With a dog, Canelo. Now, the Canelo footwork ain't been what it's supposed to be lately. And he hasn't a real threat in a long time. Now, sometimes we can get so comfortable in that zone. But now you got to go down deep to get ready for Crawford.
Tarver then shifted focus to Alvarez, offering a more critical perspective. While acknowledging Alvarez's toughness, he pointed out the Mexican star hasn't faced serious challenges recently and his ring movement has shown signs of decline. Tarver warned that comfort can be dangerous, causing even the best fighters to ease their intensity.
I don't think Terence gonna run from Canelo as much as that guy did. I feel like he gonna box for sure, but he gonna sit down on some shots. He gonna fight in spurts against Canelo.
Frank Martin shared his perspective on how different fighters would approach battling Alvarez. He noted that while some might employ extremely defensive tactics against Alvarez, he doesn't foresee Crawford adopting this approach despite being physically outsized.
Sometimes, man, like, just because a guy bigger, it don't always mean, like, he can crack, but, it's like Terence he gonna be the faster, he gonna be the quicker fighter, the more explosive fighter, too, I feel like.
Martin elaborated that while Crawford might be smaller, he maintains significant advantages in speed that could trouble Alvarez. He explained how quicker, smaller fighters can effectively compete against larger opponents through strategic movement and timing.
Man, don't mean nothing. A lot of times them guys be slower,
Yeah.
When a smaller guy come up to a higher weight, you just can't get hit by the, can't get hit by the bigger guy, especially if he a puncher. But a lot of times the smaller guy have an advantage, I feel like, because they quicker.
This bout could redefine greatness for Crawford. Should he defeat Alvarez, a naturally larger fighter who has demonstrated excellence against all styles, he would become the first male fighter in the four-belt era to claim undisputed championships across 3 weight divisions. This unprecedented achievement would surpass accomplishments by Mayweather, Pacquiao, or Roy Jones Jr., writing history in bold letters.
You take a guy like Canelo, this guy can do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Among those critical of Alvarez is Floyd Mayweather Jr., who handed Alvarez one of his most decisive defeats in 2013 when a younger Alvarez was completely dominated in spectacular fashion. The weight difference might impact the fight, but both teams remain confident in their fighters' physical advantages.
Ridiculous promotion of Canelo Crawford has given me lots of good ammunition. Woo, first, let's take it back to last week when this photo was taken of Canelo and Crawford having dinner together. Like they're best friends.
I love you, man.
They're buddies, like they were family friends.
Trainer Brian Bomac McIntyre matched his fighter's energy with calm certainty rather than fiery rhetoric. His words carried quiet confidence from someone who knows exactly what his fighter can accomplish. While keeping strategic details private, he made clear the outcome is already determined in his mind, focusing on preparation, discipline, and trust built through years of work.
Can you imagine Muhammad Ali or like Joe Frazier having dinner together? What? Can you imagine Mike Tyson and Mitch Green before a brawl? What the f? No boxing fan wants to see 2 fighters having dinner together.
We could have a dinner on Wednesday.
Oscar de la Hoya expressed frustration about the fight's promotion, criticizing the overly friendly tone between fighters that he believes diminishes boxing's edge. De la Hoya argued fans want fire, tension, and raw energy that makes fights feel like impending wars, comparing today's atmosphere unfavorably to legendary rivalries like Ali Frazier or Tyson Green.
We want anticipation. We want to feel like an actual war is about to happen. Not caviar and champagne together while they're staging their trilogy. Jesus Christ.
De La Hoya doubled down, stating boxing's real appeal lies in the emotional buildup and high stakes that make each round feel life or death. When promotions feel forced or polished, they lose authenticity. He personally advised Crawford to reference Alvarez's failed drug test related to tainted meat, a sensitive subject for Alvarez, to generate genuine heat and shift the promotion's emotional tone.
Fight for both men. Canelo always looks for the knockout, as he says. He will be planting his feet. And as I said to Terence, are you prepared to be hit harder than you've ever been hit before? Obviously he doesn't want to be hit, but Canelo will hit him harder than anyone he's probably been in against.
British journalist Gareth Davies provided a stark assessment of what Crawford faces, stating Alvarez isn't coming to box technically but to inflict damage. He fights flat-footed, plants himself, and seeks knockouts with mission-like intensity. Crawford has never absorbed punches like those Alvarez will deliver, testing not just skill but durability, heart, and pure will. This won't be tactical chess but a war where every clean punch could change everything.
Errol Spence hits hard, but it wasn't the same Errol Spence that he fought. And he's up against one of the all-time greats of Mexican boxing on September the 13th at the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. It's a really big fight for him. It's a legacy fight because his resume isn't anything like Saul Canelo Alvarez's legacy.
Davies posed the chilling question, is Crawford truly prepared for this level of fire? While Errol Spence hits hard, he wasn't the same fighter when they fought. Now Crawford faces one of Mexican boxing's all-time greats on September 13th at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas in a legacy-defining bout against an opponent whose resume far surpasses his own. The intensity, drama, and anticipation confirm this transcends ordinary boxing matches. It represents a collision of legacies, pride, and raw emotion. With each press conference, quote, and stare down, the fire grows stronger. Whether based on respect or rivalry, calm strategy or full-blown tension, one certainty remains: when Alvarez and Crawford finally enter that ring, the world will watch to see who emerges with history on their side.